everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Josie. Today I am going to do an easy tutorial on making a pillowcase. I will put my link down below on the first part of this tutorial. I showed you how to cut pillowcase. Now let's show you here. Sorry. And I'm doing this tutorial on a new camera, so bear with me. We'll see how it goes. This measures 27 inches. This is for a standard pillowcase. The ones that I make for, excuse me, the larger one, I cut 29 inches. The strip, I cut 9 inches, and it's folded in half. Well, doesn't want to come apart. There we go. It is folded in half. And make sure before you sew that you press it really good. Pressing is really important. Sorry about my phone going off. So, here we go. Now, especially on certain prints, you want to decide which way your design is going. On this flowered one, I am not sure here. I'm going to run it this way. That's why when I purchase pillowcase fabric, I always purchase 2 yards if I'm making 2. Because it actually only takes about 1.5 yards. But with your design, sometimes you have to cut it a little different. So you want to make sure you have enough fabric. Okay, first of all, we open up our strip. This is the right side. Now I'm going to lower my camera. And you put right sides together. Like that. Okay, and I flip it. Now I'm decided to do some easy tutorials because I've sewed for 50 years. And I know a lot of people I've talked to, they get really discouraged. So I'm not going to get into the technical part until later on. Okay, here's my right sides. The right side and the right side of the strip. Sometimes I even put the smaller strip so it's actually 3 pieces, but I like to do it this way too. So you put your end to end, and also I use pins and these clips. Either one. I have both if you don't have the clips, and if you're just starting, you probably don't. Just use pins. And I probably should put my glasses on. Pillowcases are really easy to make. And this is called the burrito. And as it goes on, you will see why it's called that. And I also will show you at the end, my strip is a little bit longer. And that's fine, because I just trim it off. You always want it longer, not shorter. You're in trouble if it's shorter, then you have to cut another one. Okay. So, all I do, I didn't bring my blade in here, so I'll just use the scissors. Just trim it off. And then you're ready to sew. I will set my sewing machine up and I will be back. Okay, I'm back. Now, you could actually, like I said, do it all in one time, but it's much safer to keep your seams even to do it like I'm showing you. And I make my seam about 1/4 of an inch. Also, my sewing machine is a heavy-duty Singer. I have the length set on 3, and it makes a really nice stitch. You don't want it too large or too small. Always back stitch. Check your fabric. Just remove your pins or clips as you go. The main thing is to sew straight. The reason why I'm really just starting at the basics, so many people say, oh, they can't sew, and the first time they attempt and they make a mistake, they give up. It's like any other thing you do for the first time. Just about at the end. And also, I have a magnetic piece that you can put on here like that. But I am so used to sewing that very seldom do I use it. Okay. Now, I will show you. I will press it and I will be back. Okay, I'm back. Now I have pressed this. Pressing is so important. I can't stress it enough. There are some people that sew beautifully, but they don't press, and then it really doesn't look professional. Okay, I will lower the camera again, and hopefully you can see. Now we're going to lay this out. This is why it's called the burrito. So you take your fabric and you roll it as small as you can. You'll find that it's a lot easier to pin. You do roll it small. Once in a while I get in a hurry and I don't roll it as small as I should. Okay, hopefully you've got a good shot of this. Oops, I'm dropping things as usual. Let's see here. Now, you're going to bring this piece up to this seam, like that. And you are going to clip it or pin it, whatever. And with these, I will show you how to make a French seam too. These are not hard to make. Now when you sew, you want to be really careful that it's smooth, because I've gotten in a hurry and ended up having to rip because you get one side that's not flat. And remember, all seamstresses make mistakes. That's why we have a seam ripper. So don't get discouraged. My motto is anyone can sew if they really want to. And if you have a little extra piece at the end, you just trim it. But this is why it's called a burrito. Now, I will be back, and I'm back. Now, we start at one end. Remember, you did your seam 1/4 of an inch. So you want to do at least 5/8 of an inch. Otherwise, your last seam is going to show, and you don't want that. So on my sewing machine, there's the markings of 5/8 of an inch. Excuse me. Let's see here. All right, and remove that. Back stitch. And always check the front and the back while you're sewing. You want a nice smooth hem, or seam, excuse me. I'm actually so used to doing this automatically without talking, so I say weird things, just laugh. Straighten your fabric as you go. Sometimes fabric stretches, and you might end up, like I said, having this trim at the end, but that's okay. There's a lot of wonderful tutorials on YouTube, but some of them are so precise, I think sometimes they discourage new sewers. Perfection comes in time, with time. And you know what? I don't think there's any seamstress on this earth that is perfect all the time. It's impossible. I think one of the best things with sewing, as far as I'm concerned, is, to me, it's stress-free and relaxing. And this fabric stretched, so I will show you. There's a piece I will have to trim. And that is fine. Okay. And I will show you how to trim that off. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. This is what we have. So we take one end and we pull. You see why it acquired the name burrito? Just pull. I think these are amazing. I used to make pillowcases the old-fashioned way, and this is so much nicer. And this is how it is. And I will press it, and I will be back. Okay, I'm back. I steamed this. Hopefully you can see that. Now, on this end, because the fabric did stretch a little, there's an excess piece. All you have to do is cut it. No big deal. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to make French seams. You want to get your two seams straight. This is one thing you want to get straight. I am going to use pins. You want to pin it. I mean, you really wouldn't have to, but I think it's best to be a little safe, especially if you're a beginner. And pin your seams. We got some extra thread here. Now, I'm going to bring the sewing machine up, and we're going to sew 1/4 of an inch around. And I think I'll just bring my machine up. I won't pause it this time. Let's see here. Okay. Do 1/4 of an inch. Thread jammed on me, which wasn't supposed to happen. And sometimes things like that do happen. So I will pause it and be back. Apparently there was a flaw in my spool of thread. It was like they had some thread on there and then it stopped and then they started over. So that has never happened to me before. And it jammed in the machine. So sorry about that interruption. But things like that happen. That is real life. I guess I also should have turned my phone off because it keeps giving me messages. Okay, so that side's done. And then I will do the bottom, press it, and then actually show you how to do the French seam. And then we're done. They're that simple. I'm going to start on this end. Okay. I will put the link in below showing how I cut these out. Okay, now I will be back. I will press this. Okay, I'm back. I pressed it. This is how you make your French seam. I will be sewing 5/8 of an inch all the way down and then down here, and then we'll flip it. And see, you have no loose threads, no seams that show. Okay, I'll lower the camera again. And this, like I said, it's an easy, simple process. You do want to make sure that your seam is 5/8 of an inch if you've sewed at least 1/4 of an inch, because you don't want that other seam stitching line showing. Hopefully, I don't know about my lighting. Gonna have to work on that. This is the first time I've used this camera, so I may have to work on my lighting. And I hope to be doing at least 1 or 2 tutorials a week. Not only sewing, my jewelry art. I have some junk journals coming up with the calendars and supplies I bought from Chris and Holly's shop. Okay. Now, and don't get in a panic if you didn't sew it far enough that you hide your other seam. You can always redo. Okay, now got your stitches all stitched. This is what's called the French seam. And when you wash them, they do not, you're not seeing the raw seams. And then you flip it. And sometimes you have some threads to trim. Some fabrics leave little threads. Okay. I will lower the camera, and now I have to press this. But I will not do that on right now. Needs a good pressing. Okay. This is your pillowcase. And when it's all pressed, I think they turn out just beautiful. I haven't pressed it, but let me fold it and maybe where you can see it a little better. But after it's all pressed, it looks beautiful, I think. So I hope you got something out of this tutorial, and like I said, I need to work on my lighting because I'm not sure what this video is even going to look like. That's the first time I've used this camera. So this is how to make a pillowcase the burrito style, and you now know what a French seam is. And hopefully you enjoyed this. Like I said, while I was sewing, I'm hoping to do 1 or 2 tutorials a week. We'll see how it goes. Have a great day. Be safe, everyone, and thank you for watching.